This is, it's like being in a candy store. This is amazing. Hello, I'm Christian Ward, a comic book creator. This is amazing. Image did a reprint of this amazing book, The Last Man. No one is doing fight scenes better than this. And I'm here at Walt's Comics shop. Image is where I started, so like I have a lot of love for Image. So many good books here. That's a good one. If anyone's interested. Written by moi. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about 3 comics that are really meaningful to me. So I might be a DC guy, but that doesn't mean I'm immune to the joys of Marvel. This one, it's quite an interesting one. It's probably one that people wouldn't expect me to pick up. I remember reading the original Dark Horse Aliens comic. This is obviously the Marvel Epic reprint. I was a huge fan of Aliens when I was too young to be watching Aliens, but I loved it. And I remember picking up Aliens in the local newsagents and being blown away that you could expand on a story. Because when I got to the end of Aliens, I really wanted to know what happened to Newt. I wanted to know what happened to Ripley and Hicks, and the idea that I could pick up these books and kind of like find out what happened to the Marines and the Xenomorphs. It was just incredible to see that world expanded. And then obviously just seeing it go to really wild places. Kelly Jones, the Goats, just amazing, amazing stuff. And obviously, you know, I think kind of this planted the seed of expanding science fiction movies that obviously now I'm kind of doing with Event Horizon. So yeah, that would probably be my first pick, the Dark Horse Aliens collection. Amazing. Mr. McKelvey's Captain Marvel, good friend of mine. Jamie McKelvey, not Captain Marvel. Though I'm sure we'd get on, me and Captain Marvel. Oh, Mark Waid's Daredevil, incredible. I spent a lot of time in London when I was trying to sort of make it as a comic book artist. Very kind of lonely and sad time for a lot of it. But the thing that really pulled me through was comics, and one of them was Daredevil. Now, even though I'm a huge Batman fan, I would say that Mark Waid's Daredevil is probably my favorite superhero run. And it's full of so much life. I mean, look at that, amazing. So much life and fun, but just like really, really emotional and just really full of genuine joy. And I remember reading this in quite kind of like, you know, troubling times and dark times, and just being pulled out by the power of comics, and just like amazing kind of transportative, like to take me to a completely different emotional place. Who would have thought that a Daredevil comic could do that? But here we are, it did, amazing. But the big one, DC is where basically my love of comics really began, and it was really Batman that sort of did that, you know. Like Nightfall, I remember being a big deal when I was reading that as a child. It's really cool stuff. I always loved the Nightfall Batman design, so cool. But, the Goat. The Goat. The one that set me on my course, it is, of course, Batman, Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on a Serious Earth. Always give it the full title, by Grant Morrison and Dave McKean. Now, I read this again, probably when I was too young, when I was 12. And it was the same year that Batman '89 came out. And reading it was the first time that I saw comic art could be art. I'd never seen pages that were painted and kind of use collage. It was really kind of mind expanding. And it was the first time that I saw, I mean, look at that. Like when I saw that as an 11-year-old, I was just like, what is this? Like, that's not a splash page of someone punching someone else. It was just art. And it triggered something in me that made me want to be a comic book artist, because I never wanted to kind of draw spandex and superheroes. It was this really kind of emotive, emotional, psychological, and just really challenging. I mean, just scary and dark and just absolutely beautiful. I mean, this book changed my life. And if it wasn't for this book, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. So thank you, Dave McKean. Thank you, Grant Morrison. New book there by Dennis Camp. It's my favourite book at the moment, favourite Image book. And every month this comes out, it's the first book I read, and it's Assorted Crisis Events by Dennis Camp and Eric Zawadi. I'm sorry, Eric, I don't know how to pronounce Zawadis. Terrible. The thing I really love about this book, each issue is its own story, and just the structure of each issue, I mean, just every page is just a beautiful construction of design and art that Eric does, and it's just absolutely how he uses the page is just really inspiring to me as an artist. But as a writer, it's also really inspiring to me to see what Dennis does with each issue and how each issue is its own thing and kind of like expressing its own point with a real clear beginning, middle and end. And actually it's really hard to do monthly books where each issue is a standalone, and this is by far the most experimental, the most challenging, and it's absolutely wonderful. So this is my highest recommendation for a new book that you want to pick up would be Assorted Crisis Events.